My stepsister treated my belongings like her personal shopping mall, so I gave her a 6-hour lesson in consequences. I've lived with a parasite since our parents got married 4 years ago, my stepsister Hannah. Hannah had this pattern. She'd take my things, use them carelessly, then play victim when confronted. My AirPods would vanish and reappear in her desk, out of nowhere. We're family. Sharing is caring, she'd chirp. Then my stuff started getting destroyed. I'd saved for months for a skateboard. Hannah borrowed it for an Instagram shoot and returned it snapped in half. Oops, guess I'm not Tony Hawk. My dad made me apologize for yelling at her. Then came Grandpa's watch, the only thing he'd left me after tragically passing away from cancer. Hannah needed something vintage for her friend's wedding. My stepmom handed it over, completely ignoring my protests. To make matters worse, Hannah lost it that night and said, "It's just an old watch." Before I could even react, my dad squeezed my shoulder hard and told me, "Your grandfather would want family harmony." Then he went on to comfort Hannah while she fake cried. I've never felt angrier than I did at that moment. Every theft got bigger. Every consequence for her got smaller. The final straw came 3 weeks later. I'd been pulling constant all-nighters to finish my graphic design portfolio, a freelance project that would finally get me out of this house. But on the day of my submission, I reached for my laptop and noticed that my bag was empty. My stomach dropped. I tore through my room in a panic, almost on the verge of hyperventilating. Then I heard Hannah on the phone from next door saying, "Girl, the MacBook paid for all 4 VIP passes." I burst into her room like Shrek and screamed, "Where's my laptop?" She glanced up, annoyed at the interruption, and said, "Oh, your laptop? I sold it for my Coldplay tickets. I hope you don't mind. Coldplay is a once-in-a-lifetime thing." My vision blurred. 2 years of client work, design files, my entire future, liquidated for a damn concert. I told her I was going to call the cops and pulled out my phone, fingers shaking as I dialed 911. Hannah just laughed at me. "You think the cops will believe you? It's your word against mine." My thumb hovered over the call button when my dad's hand shot out and snatched my phone out of nowhere. "Are you crazy? You can't call the cops on your sister." His face was stone, and even though I begged him to do something, he just said, "If you can't forgive your family, pack your things and get out." That's when something inside me shattered completely. I pretended to forgive Hannah so I could stay in the house and have access to her things. While she called me the perfect sister, I was already stalking her TikTok. She couldn't stop bragging about driving to Coldplay in her white Mercedes, posting her schedule down to the minute. That car was her everything. She'd named it Pearl, posted daily photos with it, and once cried for hours when someone left a fingerprint on the hood. She loved that Mercedes more than any person in her life. Friday afternoon, she'd be at the venue for 8 hours straight. Perfect. I followed her on Friday and watched her park in an emergency zone right next to the VIP section. I waited, watching her disappear into the crowd, my heart pounding. Then I made the call. "Hi, I'd like to report an illegally parked white Mercedes blocking emergency access." I gave them every detail, even her license plate I'd memorized. 20 minutes later, I watched from across the street as the tow truck arrived. The driver checked the signs, shook his head, and started hooking up her car. I felt a twisted satisfaction watching it get dragged away. By midnight, Hannah was melting down. But instead of texting our parents like a sensible person, she went on her Instagram story. "My car is gone! Someone stole it." She said her battery was at 1% and begged for help, but no one went to get her. Her phone died mid-sentence. I knew what came next from her friends' stories. Hannah borrowing phones, discovering her car was towed, learning the fees would be $850, finding out Uber surge pricing hit $500. She'd blown everything on merch and didn't have our parents' number memorized. Her friends recorded her meltdown and then left in their own cars, leaving her behind. With no way to contact our parents and no money for a ride, she started the 6-hour walk home in platform heels. When Hannah finally reached home, she collapsed right in the doorway and gave our parents a panic attack. But when they found out the truth and the fact that they had to pay an $850 fine, they were not happy and grounded Hannah for life.